They call it Trot Town, USA. They call it the cradle of the trotter. Me, I just call it heaven for horse racing fans. Hi, everyone. John Pavlak, welcome back for this week's edition of Ion Harness Racing. As we promised you, we are in Goshen, New York, about an hour and a half north of New York City. Well, let's take a look at the big races coming up. This weekend, we have the eliminations for the Meadowlands Pace and the final of the Yonkers Trot, the opening leg of the Trotting Triple Crown. Sam DePinto has Will We See going in the Meadowlands Pace eliminations. Had a good run in Canada for the North America Cup, having won an elimination and then finished second to Sports Writer in the $1.4 million North America Cup final. Sam DePinto spoke with our Ken Weingartner.
I think, we're going to have a heck of a shot, just as good as anybody. And I don't think you're going to see this horse 30-1 this week. I think you're going to see, maybe 4-1, 5-1 in that area. And the good thing is I got Brett Miller driving him again. He's going to stay with the colt, and that's a big plus right there. Because every time this horse is raced, I've had a different driver, week in and week out.
Well, if you're looking for a favorite in the Yonkers Trot, the opening leg of the Trotting Triple Crown, which will take place this weekend at Yonkers, you probably need to look no further than the Jimmy Takter Bard. He won both eliminations for the Yonkers Trot with Hard Livin', who he drove himself to win in 159-2. Also, Senior Glide, seen here winning his division, but with Cat Manzi aboard in 158-4. Takter took time out to prepare for the Yonkers Trot by talking to our Ken Weingartner.
He's been racing good in Pennsylvania, and I was happy with his effort in Yonkers Trot. He raced really good there. He finished with a lot of power left there.
He had a quarter crack at the Dexter Cup?
Yeah, Dexter Cup, he popped the quarter crack actually same day he was racing, so I didn't get him the right, shot there, but he's been racing good basically all year after that. Senor Glide, he came up a long layup here, he haven't raced for 4.5 weeks and had a throat operation, and he actually raced very good. I expect him to step up a little bit for the final.
This past Sunday night here at Historic Track, they honored two more legends of the sport of harness racing. Driver Dave Palone, who has nearly 14,000 victories, and breeder Hal Jones, man who developed artificial insemination, a technique in use since the 1960s. We spoke to both of them at their induction ceremonies.
And I'm probably the luckiest guy here, and I've been at the right place at the right time, one time after another. I was at Hanover, Johnny Simpson sold me share of Albatross, helped thrill, and
It's hard to imagine being here. Like they were talking, I had broken my femur in 40 different places and needed major surgery and traction, the whole deal. I remember that next morning waking up from surgery and seeing my wife Beth Ann, who's a therapist, and she says, "Okay, hon, we got work to do." I looked at her like she was crazy, but somehow she got me back in 7 weeks, which is incredible. They thought I was going to be off 3 or 4 months.
Well, of course, if we're not getting ahead of ourselves with the Yonkers Trot, Hambletonian favorites are starting to make their appearance. Holiday Road had his first start of the year recently in the historic Dickerson Cup at the Meadowlands, in which he was a victor in a new life mark.
Holiday Road on the inside, Muscle Massive on the outside, Holiday Road hanging in there, Holiday Road, a gutsy score here.
And among the older trotters, it looks like the rivalry between Lucky Jim and Enough Talk is back on. They met in the $235,000 Titan Cup at the Meadowlands, in which Enough Talk won narrowly in 153.
Like a Bout Out of Hell didn't have it, neither did Arch Madness. Buckeye St. Pat closing. Enough Talk, loud and clear. Enough Talk and Pierce over Lucky Jim.
All right, let's start our handicapping for the Yonkers Trot opening leg of the Trotting Triple Crown by looking at these. These are the speed ratings produced most recently by the 8 horses that will go in the final of the Yonkers Trots. Do you see a winner among them? Obviously, there is one. Whether it's going to be one of those Takter horses or not, Only time will tell. Don't forget that speed ratings are considered official by the U.S. Trotting Association, produced only by Trackmaster, a key part of everyone's handicapping efforts.
At Trackmaster, it's all about winning. Powerful handicapping products built on official USTA data help you be the best horse player you can be. And free services such as StatsMaster and the Virtual Stable also put the odds in your favor. The winning starts at Trackmaster.com.
Coming back to the winner's circle, the winner of the 3-year-old filly trot here in the New York Sire Stakes, history being made by a New York bred here at the Cradle of the Trotter. Welcome back. Earlier today, they had one of the great traditional races here.
Julio's leaving. We're going to follow Hervé. That's not a bad place to be.
And Mike LaChance proved to be the best of the best when he outsprinted other members of the Harness Racing Hall of Fame who drove here today in the Hall of Fame drivers race.
We just got up for a bone. Couldn't beat Hervé for
They assembled a great field. How about this? Hervé Filion, Cat Manzi, and Dave Palone, among them more than 42,000 victories. Never been seen here in North America before or since. Last week we had a question. What were the former names of the Yonkers Trot? Boy, we had a lot of smart viewers, as is usual. They know that at one time it was known either as the Yonkers Futurity, or the Quad Futurity. Any of those would have qualified as a correct answer, and we had plenty. Our winner this week is Jay Wolf of Delaware, Ohio. Congratulations, Jay. Here then is our question this week. The first inductees into the Living Hall of Fame were E. Roland Harriman and Steve Phillips in 1961. Our question is, who was the first driver-trainer to be enshrined in the Living Hall of Fame? That came in 1967. If you know the answer, and I bet these fans here at Goshen do, send it along with your name and address via email to i@ustrotting.com. Next week, we're going to take a look back at the Yonkers Trot and a look ahead at the Meadowlands Pace. So be with us next Thursday for the next edition of Eye on Harness Racing.